Hello. So this class is going to focus on. We'll start from reviewing the last assignment I gave you. I gave people assignments yesterday.
Okay.
So the assignment was we are giving. I did a particular example, which is this. We have examples of this. We have student names. We have student class name, class continuous assessments of the students that was created using random uniform distributions between 0 to 10, and we have 6 items. So then we also have C2, which is student second CA. Then we have exam name, exam variable, which has exam scores. Was also created using uniform random numbers from 10 to 60. We have 6 items for each of these students. So our what we did yesterday was we used this particular formula. The total value is given by 2 times C1 plus C2 plus exam. So do you get that?
Yes.
So it's given by C 2 times C1 plus C2 plus exam. So in this particular line of code, we use the np.argmax to calculate the maximum index, that is the maximum of this particular total. Then the index of the maximum, that is what argmax means. Then we print total. So we use format printing in such a way that it's going to allow us to know the student that has the highest score. And format printing is student with the highest score, comma, student underscore names, and this index that was calculated. So I told you yesterday to extend this particular function to calculate grade for all students. That was the assignment. Is that
Yes.
okay? So that was the assignment. So let me make the solution now. Okay, let me see if this particular session is still active. I'll try to reload it now. Okay, so let me just see if it is still active. Okay, so we have to import everything. Import numpy as empty. So we'll be using numpy library. There will also be, okay, let's say you'll be using numpy library. Then let's create this particular get grade function that is going to compute the score for each of the students. So the get grade function, I told you yesterday to create a get grade function in such a way that it's going to take score and it's going to return the grade. So given this particular score using these conditions, these are the conditions I asked you to use. 0 to 39F, 40 to 49E, 50 to 59D, 60 to 69C, 70 to 79B, 80 to 100A. Are you following?
Okay.
So this is what I expect you to do. So let's start from A. Score. If score is greater than or equal to 80, is the first condition of A. So it's going to give that will the score will return A. So let's give the second condition. So that will be L if score is greater than or equal to 70, and I told that you can use and score is less than or equal to 79, then grade equal to B, right? So we also have L if score is greater than or equal to 60 and score is less than or equal to 70, that would be grade will return C. Is that how you did it?
Yes.
So L if score is greater than or equal to 50 and score is also less than or equal to 59, then grade equal to D. So then we have another L if score is greater than or equal to 40 and score is less than or equal to 49, then grade equal to E. So if you are using function, the reason why you are using function is that to make your code simple so that you won't be using this condition all the time. Then else is F. That's why
But
we
me, I did my own upside down. I started from 0.
okay, it's okay, it's okay. But the main thing is that you should be able to test your function and ensure that you can just test your function with random numbers, maybe 88, and see what is going to return. Get function 88. Just ensure that all the condition has been is correct. You understand? So you can also say get function 66. So it's 66 is C. So let me use
Oh,
something that might, then I'll make sure that we are sure about that. So let me say 59, get function 59. That should give us D. So that will give us D.
okay.
So okay, let's proceed. Then we want to find the grade of each of these students. Each of these students, these are the students. This particular total score that we've calculated. So I can try to run this line again so that I can have this total. So now I have total for each of the students. So I can let me just write total here. Total. So these are the scores that I want to compute. Each of these scores, you want to find the grade of them. So you can do this, get grade total for the first one. This for the first one. This for the first one. So this is the grade for the first one. So this is the grade for the second one. So, but for us to write our code, we must ensure that everything, all the total is being taken into account. You can use a for loop to do that. You understand that? Then you can use this particular shortcut like this. You can say that for I in total, then get grade I. So this is going to calculate the grade for. Do you get that?
Okay.
Is a shortcut just for I in total. For each of these item in total, use this particular get grade. It's the same as saying that for I in. I was
Hmm.
expecting to use something like this for I in total. Then just print. If I just say print get grade I,
I think just use this one first.
just something like this, you are going to get all the grades like this, the same thing that we did here. So but I asked you to use format printing in such a way that you have to print it in something like this. Use a format print like student something, student I, student of a particular number of a particular name, as with this particular score of this, as a particular grade of this. That's what I asked you to do. So you can then use your format printing like this. But for us to use format pointing, we can use range instead. We can look in range, learn the total number of the total items in total, in length total. So it will not be print. So we can now access all the names of the students using I like this. So you can print students with the score, student name. So students with the score, the top person is the score. So let's now incorporate this score, students with the score. Okay, students. Okay, let me use this particular format pointing because I need the name. I can say this is going to give me the name like Tope with the score, then total I. So then this format will give me Tope with the score 52. Let me now incorporate the grade. Let me incorporate the grade as a as grade get grade. I can then use this get grade function total I. So this particular get grade function is going to give me the grade of this particular score. So you know that get grade, you can see now. This is what I asked to do. Topper with the score 52 as grade D. You understand that Titi with the score 46 as grade E. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Do you get that? This particular get grade function is going to compute the grade. So this total I is the score of each of these students. Why student name I is the name of each of these students. So this is just a format pointer. Student names I, which is the first student name is Tokwe with the score total I, that is score 52. As a grade, as grade, get grade total I. You understand that? Which is get grade D. Do you get that? Do you understand this? So it just this particular line, it's just for you to do this, write this function that we've written here. Then use this, it's just three lines, just two lines here for I in range length of total. Then use your format pointing. Is it clear?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Very clear.
Actually, I tried this one. I tried, but maybe I didn't uh, write the function before calling it. That's why it didn't work.
Is that okay? You should. You didn't call the function, have you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe I tried it, but it didn't work.
Okay, no problem then. No problem. Okay, so let's now move to what we have today. In today's class, we'll talk about the Pandas Library. So we'll talk about the Pandas Library. So as I've mentioned earlier in previous class, I told you that Matplotlib library is for plotting, Abby. What is
Yes.
NumPy libraries? What's the function of the NumPy library?
Dictionary.
For computation of arrays. Do you get that?
Okay. Okay.
So for if you want to perform mathematical computations of arrays, it's just for processing arrays, for computing arrays, perform any operations on arrays. Then there is another important thing I need to note. If you want to install any library, you install library with this with pipe. So you install library with pipe. If you want to install, maybe I don't have a particular library, I'll just say pipe install the library name. You understand? For example, if I don't have the NumPy library, I'll have to say pipe install NumPy. So this particular function is going to install library. Do you understand that? Pipe install
Okay.
library. Sometimes your library might be missing on your computer or your Python machine. So you can use this pipe to install a particular library. Something like this. So let's now move to Pandas library. So Pandas library is for data analysis. Do you get that? It's for working with data sets. You want to work with data sets, working with you want to analyze data, you want to clean data, you want to manipulate data, then you need the Pandas library. Do you get that?
Okay.
Pandas library. This is what I mean by pandas. Pandas library. It is used for processing data sets. And the processing operations I mean is that if you want to maybe analyze a data set, if you want to analyze, if you want to maybe clean a data set, and maybe you want to manipulate with columns. So what do I mean by data set? Data set is just collection of data. Do you understand that? If you have your data, maybe you have data in spreadsheets. That is what I mean by data set. It's just collection of data. You've collected maybe names of students, maybe like 1,000 students, their age, in form of spreadsheet data. You know what spreadsheet data is. Then you know what data. Most times, this pandas data set, pandas library is used to work on structured data sets. And structured data set, I mean data that are well fitted in a spreadsheet. Do you get that? So I mean data that are well fitted in a spreadsheet. That's what I mean by structured data sets. Do you understand that? So let's now proceed. And the most important, the reason why we use pandas is that pandas allows us to it allowed us to manipulate with big data. You understand that? So it allows us to manipulate with big data. So you can use it to manipulate with big data sets. Do you understand that? So that is one of the advantage of pandas. So even how messy the data set is, you can just work on the big data. So you have to be attentive in this particular stage. So if you want to use the pandas library, you say they use it in form of this import pandas. But these times we'll import pandas as PD. So import pandas as PD. That's how to import a data set to import pandas library. Are you following?
Yes.
Okay. So let's proceed. So the first thing we'll be talking about under the pandas library is creating a data frame, creating a pandas data frame, data frame. So there's what we call pandas data frame. Do you understand that? So PD pandas works it handles data frames. You understand? Data set, and it represents it in form of a data frame. So let's say that we have a dictionary data. Do you still remember what a dictionary data is? If you have a dictionary data like this, let me say names of students. We have name like this. Uh, Name in form of a list. Let me say Precious, Joy, and Isaac. So if I have these three names, then I have another dictionary of age. I have another keyword in the dictionary, which is age, in form of a list. I say 55, 88, 13. So this is a dictionary data. Is that? So we have a dictionary data like this. So you can create a data frame from this dictionary data using pd.dataframe, pd.dataframe d. So you specify your data. So it's going to look like this. So it's going to
Okay.
look like a table. Most pandas data frames looks like a table. Do you understand that? That's why it's called a data frame.
Okay.
Do you understand that we have this particular frame of data with two columns, names and age, and these are the rows. You see that it takes this dictionary, it's much more pretty than some other data types that we've used. like the NumPy, like the
Array.
list arrays. Data frame is much more pretty. You have your data in form of a table. That's why it is mostly used. So another advantage of using the Pandas data frame is that it enhances visualization of data. Do you understand that you can easily visualize data, make plots on the data? Do you get it? So this
Yes.
this is what we call a data frame. Hmm? PD dot data frame. This is what a data frame will look like. So let's now proceed. So we also have what we call a series. A series in the Panda series. The Panda series. So Panda series, unlike the Pandas data frame, Panda series is just a colon, just to create a colon in the data. If I extract a particular colon in this data, it's going to be represented as a type of a series. Look at what I mean. If I say data is equal to this, then let me try to display data in this notebook. So I have something like this. I know that this data,
Hmm.
for example, now if I want to extract a particular column in this data frame, I'll just see that the way we extract data in dictionaries, data into names like this. So you have something like this. These are the names. So this particular column, this is a particular column now. Data into this brace bracket, then you put name. This is a column. Do you understand that? So this
Okay.
particular data type is a series, it's a Panda series because it's a go, it's a colon in the data frame. A colon in the data frame is a series. If I look at
Okay.
this type of the data here, so you see that it's going to tell me that it is a series. You see, Panda series. Do you understand that?
Hmm.
Why this
Yes.
particular data type data is a data frame? This is a data frame. Why this is a series? Do you get that?
Okay.
A colon is a data, the whole data is called a data frame, while a colon it is called a series. Is it clear?
Okay.
So, but you can also create a series on its own using pd.series. It's going to create a series. So pd.series has to just accept a list item like this. Let me just say 55, 88, 19. So you can create a series like this. So it's good to just accept a list and create a series, just a colon in the data frame. Do you get that?
Yes.
So do you get that? So let's move forward. If you want to extract any column in this data frame, I already told you, if you want to extract any column in data frame as a series, you extract a column as a series. You can also extract a row in the data frame. So let's continue. Let's say that extracting a column in the data frame. So we have what we call data here. So if you want to extract a column, if I want to extract age, this is how to extract a column. You understand that? If you want to extract a column, you can extract a column like this. You can also add a column. Let's talk about adding a column to an existing data frame. Adding a column to a data frame. So you can also add a column to a data frame like this. If you have data, let's say that I want to add a column which is going to be color. I want to add a color. So you just have to specify the color into this brace bracket. Color is equal to maybe, and the numbers of colors must be equal to the numbers of rows in the existing data frame. So I can say that orange, purple, I can see that orange, purple, red. So once I run this line, so I can then say data, then I'm going to have my data in form of this. Color will be inclusive. Do you get that?
Yes.
Do you get that? So you can add a particular colon to an existing data frame. Hmm? So
Okay.
another thing that we can do is to extract. We can extract a row. Extracting rows in the data frame. So we can extract a row in the data frame. So if you have this particular data frame like this, so to extract a row in the data frame, just have to specify this keyword loc, LOC. So you can say that row, this is row one. That is row one. LOC keyword data frame dot LOC. This particular data must be a data frame. Dot LOC is going to extract a keyword. It's going to extract a keyword. Do you understand that? So LOC1, LOC2, something like this. It's going to extract a keyword like this. It's going to extract a role in the data frame. Do you understand that? So if you want to extract this row 1 is index of 0, row 2 index of 1, and row 3 is index of 2. Is that clear? Or do you have any
Okay.
question?
No.
Do you have any question?
No.
Okay, so let's proceed. So you can also extract rows and columns. If you want to extract a particular row, maybe I want to extract this particular 88. So they have to use this keyword data.iloc. If I say data.iloc, then I can say that is in row 1, comma 1. I mean, that means this column 1, row 1. This is going to allows us to extract either rows or column, which is 88. Do you understand that? So this row 1, 0, 1, and this column 1, 0, 1, which is 88. Did you get that? Do you get the difference? Let me specify it here. Data frame, data frame dot loc is used to extract a particular column, extract a row in the data frame. So this is going to accept just a number, like data.loc2. That means we are extracting row 2. This is row 2. This is row 2, 0, 1, 2, Isaac, age, and color. Do you get that? Why
Yeah.
data dot why data frame dot iloc is to extract rows and column in the data frame. Is to extract rows and column in the data frame. So this an example. For example, now if I want to extract a particular column, let me try to write the data frame again. Data. So if I want to write a particular column, my column of interest, so maybe I want to extract column 1, which is age. So it's going to be data.iloc. So I can extract everything in the row using this keyword, this double colon and 1. That means that I'm extracting all the rows in the first column, all the rows in the first column. Do you understand that? So with this in all the rows in the one in the 0 colon is going to be this. All the rows in the 0 colon, all the rows in the 1 colon, all the row in the 2 colon, Once you specify an index that exceeded the total numbers of columns, we are going to get an error for that. Do you understand this? How to extract all columns? So this extracting all columns in a particular data frame. But if you want to extract maybe just one item, maybe I want to extract just for row 0 and column 0, it will be 0, comma 0. This 0, comma 0, 0, comma 0. This 1, 1, comma 0 will give us what? 1, comma 0 will give us what?
Precious. Joy.
You don't get that. 1, comma 0 will give us joy. Do you understand that? So if it is 2, comma 0, it will give us Isaac. So this is 1, row 1, comma 0. This is 0 colon. How about this? This will give us what?
Error.
This
Isaac.
is going
Error.
to give us an error because there is no row 3.
Oh.
So it is to 2. Data.ilock. How about this? This one is going to give us what?
13. 13.
Red.
It should give us red. This column.
Red? Oh.
0, 1, 2. Do you get that?
Yeah.
This column 2, 0, 1, 2. Red. You understand that? So if it's 1, comma 2 is going to give us this. So how about this? We can also extract all the rows. This particular double column means that you are taking everything. You are taking all rows in one. Is 1. You are taking everything. Okay, let me ask you this one. What will this give us? This is going to give us what? -1, everything in the
Orange, purple, and red.
yes, because you are taking the last. This is the last.
Yeah.
Taking the last column and you are taking all the rows, the last columns and taking all the rows. Do you understand that? How about this -2?
Age, 55, 88, 13.
Exactly. But you should always note that if you are extracting a particular column, you are taking the series. It is being called a series. It's not a data frame. This is a series. This is a data frame. This is a data frame. Well, but a column in the data frame is a series. And this particular extracting a row data.ilock a row, maybe row 1 or the row is the same thing as saying that you are extracting, doing something like this. Data.lock 1 is the same thing as, you know that this LOC is used for extracting rows. You understand that? It's same thing as like if you have used ilock, because ilock have provision for rows and column. You understand that? Why with this LOC you can just extract only the rows? Do you get that? Do you get that? So that is that about this particular part. So in the next class, in the next session, this session is going to end in 2 minutes time. So I'm going to end this session now. So you have to join again so we can make look at some other examples. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, sir. All right.
Okay.